Hello and welcome everyone to this session. My name is Radha Venkatraman and thank you all for waiting. Well, we had some technical issues, but then that's the way market is, right? Market also keeps on having some issues and I appreciate all of those who waited. Well, I'm going to ensure that your wait was worth the while. Thank you so much for joining me on this live session as we enter once again a volatile day. Well, markets were trading down yesterday, and now we are looking at the markets trading up. But then, in such a scenario, what kind of tool to use and how you should all be practicing the art of making money? That's what I'm going to be discussing with you today. And in that pursuit, I have a very, very powerful technique. I have got a very, very powerful tool which I use regularly. Those who have been part of our New Trader family, those who have been part of my 7 Steps workshop, definitely know what I'm talking about. But then let me just share with you how you can use this concept and what am I about to share with you in few moments from now. Thank you all for joining and let me get started on this session. So before we head out, let us just take a look at how is the market position. Yes, we know that the market has positioned very precariously at the moment. Let's go and take a look at what's really happening on the charts first. Right, as you can see on the charts, it is very clearly evident that yes, there is a certain force of bullishness that we are seeing. And you can see here that markets in the last session when we met, we were speaking about a divergence which was in play and we're talking about buy on dips. Now you can see here that the market has given us a good thrust to the upside. As you can see on the charts, you can very well see that there has been a very clear area out here where the resistance is. Okay, in a moment. Area out here where yeah, so yes, so now what you can see on the charts, okay, what you can see on the charts is that after the last session we saw a positive divergence here that helped the markets move up. Now we are noticing that after yesterday's decline, the markets has once again revived. So what we'll do is we will now step into the intraday time frame and take a look at what kind of scenario we are looking at the markets at the moment. So when you go into a lower time frame, say a 15-minute chart, you can see here that right now at the moment you are having a gap up opening, correct? Now this gap up opening definitely is holding on, and you can see here it's almost 1 hour since the market has opened and the prices are doing quite well. And you can see here that once again this gap is continuing to act as support. Now moving ahead into the coming days, we'll once again see that if you take a look at the closer time frame, you had a gap here somewhere in the 10th of March, which acted as a support. The prices dipped down once again and it came once again into the same support area. If you can take a look here, there was this support area, correct? And in this support area, the prices have taken refuge once again. You can see here, यहाँ से एक जो उछाल आया है, यहाँ से काफी जाहिर है कि यहाँ से prices are looking to hold on. Now, if you take a closer look at the charts, you will see that these resistance is now becoming support. This zone, I am referring to this zone here, could now be a support area. So 16,800 is something you can consider as the first level of support. 16,700 you can consider as the second level of support for buying on dips. Now, to the upside, many things are possible. And for that, we refer to a concept called as pivot. Pivot is a very interesting concept. We use it very aggressively at NeoTrader. My entire team loves pivot, and it has been a very easy to use concept. Many people know about it, and that's why I am conducting a workshop especially in the end of this week. However, today I'll be sharing with you some glimpses of it as to how a pivot works. And one way, there are many types of pivot. I'm going to be talking about how you can use camera pivots on this Saturday. Now I'll be talking to you about how we use another type of pivot called as Fibonacci pivot. All right, I'll just give you an idea of how that pivot approach gives me a lot of confidence, how we at NeoTrader use it to arrive at some kind of conclusion. All right. So let us go and see on the Nifty, how is Nifty positioned and why I give so much respect to pivot points. Pivot points is something very easily available, right? But when you have pivot in your hands, you get a lot of control over what the market is about to do or what the market is doing. So you can see here, this is the scenario of the pivot applied on Nifty. You can see here, this is Nifty right now. And essentially, when you take a look here, you can see that the prices have traded above this pivot, right? Let me just widen this up. We are seeing that the pivot points, Nifty has traded above the pivot point. So the advantage of having a pivot point is it gives you a reference point. It gives you a reference point when you're trading the market. And when that reference point is available for you, you can always participate in a clear and steady manner. So you can see here that the levels are easily available for you and it gives you a very good picture. So when a price is trading above the pivot, it's a positive scenario. And when a price is trading below the pivot, it's a negative scenario. And when you're going to go into the market and when you're going to try and find out how to action them, these levels R1, R2, R3 or S1, S2, S3 assume a lot of significance. And you can see here that since the prices have traded above R1, it is clearly indicating that there is a very important message for us. Now, considering the market scenario, considering the kind of hesitation, we are going to have certain challenges. But overall factors, when you look at, you can definitely see that the scenario is on the positive side. All right. So now, having said that, this is the scenario, and let's now try and find out with the market being on the positive side, and we are trying to look at how the markets are going to function. So let's go and see as to how we can use this current situation and use the concept of pivot points and find out some opportunities. All right. So let me go and take some help from our friend NeoTrader, who always has lots of insights for us. And we are going to see how NeoTrader can help us get some idea and get some perspective on the markets as well as how to action our activity of trading in pivot points. Now, when you go into the markets and when you take a look at the scenario, you can see here that there is a sea of green out here, right? Yesterday, after some hesitation, the markets moved up. Now, when you take a look at the scenario and when you try and look at the overall space, what you see here is, though the market is on the positive side, this is where NeoTrader helps you read the market better. And what we are seeing here is, yes, the market is positive, but then you have to tread the water carefully. यानी markets अभी भी थोड़ा tentative है, क्योंकि कल थोड़ी bullishness के बाद immediately the negativity which came in towards the end of the day, और आज सवेरे ही people were surprised, right? So when people get surprised by this kind of scenario, they are very careful in taking position. This is where you need to be very careful. You need to find out how to position yourself though everything looks green, right? You have to understand that you have to read the trend well. So yesterday we witnessed some profit booking in some active names, right? Now, once again, those names have started doing well. So here you can see that the moment you put on, the moment you put on this chart, you can see here that this is the kind of heat map which has been reflected. And you can see that stock specific action is what in play. क्यों? क्योंकि markets में अभी भी tentativeness है. So what we'll do is we will take help of another beautiful page which is there in NeoTrader, which is called as pivot points using Fibonacci. So what we are going to do is there is a dedicated page in NeoTrader. So where we have got various types of pivot approaches. Okay, and what we are going to do is we are going to show you how to use Fibonacci pivots. So when you use Fibonacci pivots, you will be able to find out exactly how to look at the markets, how to consider various kinds of scenarios. And what we have done in NeoTrader is we have helped you to look at the markets in a much better way. So you can see here that all stocks are listed here. You get very good idea about every stock. You know exactly which stock is moving, where is it moving. Now, if prices are moving to the upside, they are hitting the resistances. If the prices are moving to the downside, they are hitting supports. So now, whenever you want to take an action, all right, suppose you are coming to the market now. So all you can do is go here and take a look at stocks which are between pivot to R1. Okay. Now, if you are to do it on your own, you will have to go through multiple number of stocks. But what we have done in NeoTrader is we have intelligently designed it to give you the kind of confidence that yes, these are the stocks which are between pivot to R1. So now, if there were any movement, you can find out from here. So these are the stocks which are yet to give some movement. But then stocks which have given some movement are the stocks which are placed out here. Here you can see these are the stocks which have come out of R1 and they are looking to head higher. So now you can take any stocks from here, any stocks which were moving well yesterday. For example, let's take Dabur. All right. So now if you go into the charts, okay, if you go into the charts and let's take a look at Dabur. Okay. Now, if you take a look at Dabur, Dabur has opened well and it is right now at R2. So yes, it is showing some resistance. So what we'll do, we will go and take a look at some banking names. Say for example, HDFC Bank. All right, let's try and see what is the position of HDFC Bank. You can see here that even HDFC Bank, yes, all the stocks have begun the day well and now they are hesitating. At such point in time, you can refer to a page called as Expert Alerts. We have got a fantastic page where you get a lot of insights. And on this particular page, right, on this particular page called as Expert Alerts, you get a lot of action where a lot of things are moving. And from here, you will know exactly how are the stocks positioned, what kind of activity is taking place, where are the stocks. So you can see here the stocks where many experts are certifying this stock. You can take a look at this. For example, if you are seeing say Dixon, say Axis Bank, all you have to do is you'll have to go to this page, right? You'll have to go to this page of Fibonacci pivots, go here and then search for Dixon. So when you search for Dixon, you'll know that Dixon is showing some movement, right? So when you search for Dixon, you know that the Dixon stock is moving, and you can see here that there is a movement here. It's in R2 to R3. So there is a good movement shown in Dixon. Now, if you go here on the charts, so what NeoTrader does is it makes your trading easier. It makes your chart reading easier. And that's how when you start using NeoTrader, you can find out very, very good opportunities. You can see here that there is a strong move seen here, and the prices are continuing to hold out to its gain. So now Dixon has moved up. It has got more potential, and it continues to remain on the positive side. That's how you can find out. Go here, go to expert alerts, see here which are stocks which are moving. You know here there are some stocks which are in action. You can select that stock. You can go here. You can check out from this page which is a stock which I should be selecting. And once you get that stock, all you have to do is go and place your trade. Now, from here also you can get levels. Like for example, if you go to the top, you have got a very specific place in on the Fibonacci page, which is called as levels. So now suppose you are having a particular stock. Say for example, okay, already a stock type here, GNFC. Now you want to know about GNFC. You can see here the levels are already available here, right? So now, right now, you want to know where is GNFC. You go here to heat map, you go here, and then you can select GNFC. You will see here that GNFC continues to be between pivot to R1. So now you can see here that GNFC is still in pivot to R1. Now you want to know the R1 levels. You can go here, R1 is 725. So the moment it crosses 725, you can place a trade. So these are the kind of techniques which you can use, and you can do it faster when such kind of assistance is provided to you. So now you can see here that markets are moving, markets are tentative, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is go here, go to the dashboard. Go to the dashboard and find out which are the stocks that are moving. Voltas is already on the move. You can see here the top 5 gainers. So let's take a look at the top 5 gainers and find out if we are able to get some position. So we just spoke about Dixon. Let's see about LIC, Coforge, and Indigo. Okay, let's see for LIC, Coforge, and Indigo. Based on the pivot page, where is it lying? LIC. Let me go here. Meanwhile, let me just check out some questions from the users. You can see here LIC Housing Finance has come here, right? LIC, Coforge, Coforge is not yet started moving, so Coforge is still languishing. Coforge will take some time. Okay, now Nifty has started to move. You can see here that Dixon has started to move. Let's check out Coforge as well. Yes. So you can see here that Coforge is about to give you a nice move. Coforge is about to give you a nice move. Coforge is about to clear R1. So you can see here that you are having a stock. You know that that is a stock to track. You know where is that stock. And when it triggers, you can keep the value. You can keep a trigger above the value, and automatically you'll be able to take the trade. Okay, so let me go down to some questions. And any view on Astral? Okay, so let's take the help of our pivot points itself, and let's see where is Astral. Okay, Astel is at R2 to R3, right? So right now, okay, when you take a look here, R2 to R3, when you take a look here at R2 to R3, you can see that in R2 to R3, as per our approaches, it has cleared R3. So Astral is at a very good point right now. It is giving a nice, it has given a nice breakout above R3. So Astral is getting set for some strong upside. So good question there. Yes. Thanks for this question. Your view has been very good. Astral has given a nice breakout here. As per our Fibonacci pivot approaches, it's setting up for a nice buying opportunity. It's gone up, but then the overall prospects are also looking good. So Astral is definitely a good candidate here on the upside. Okay. So Siraj is having a host of stocks. Siraj, you can choose your stock, and we will have it discussed. So what about the others? Okay. So now let's take a look at Nifty itself. Right, let's take a look at Nifty itself, and when you see what is happening to Nifty, you can see that Nifty has to cross this level. And what level is that? That level is at 9, the high. So I'm setting up an alert here for Nifty. So let's see what happens by the time we complete the whole session. So now we once again go and take a look at the dashboard, and you can see here that there is some bit of hope coming up once again, and you can see that the pie diagram shows that there is a dark green here. Astral we spoke about, and you can see here that Astral has come into the second. It's the top gainer here. There are some losers, but we won't be looking at losers. We'll be looking at stocks which are coming into a dip and then recovering. Okay. Now we saw Coforge. Coforge is also showing some traction. And now if Coforge begins to cross the levels, you will be able to set it right. So go on the charts, set the alert. You can have the levels here, and levels will help you identify how you can look at the setup. Now let's see some stocks which are already doing well. Okay. And see how are they positioned, have they given a pullback. So we can see here that Astral has started moving. Let's take a look at maybe Bata. Okay. Okay, that's the BSE which I have loaded. Let me load again. As you can see here, Bata has also given a good breakout. Now it is giving us a reaction, right? So you can see here that Bata has also moved into a nice strong zone, but then currently it is witnessing a reaction, right? Astral is a better chart. Now let's see on our page. At such moment, what new trader has done is new trader has given a very powerful feature which is called as query window. So in the query window, what happens is you get to know some stocks which are in action. Okay. Now, for example, in the last 5 minutes. All right, in the last 5 minutes, let us see what movement are we seeing. So you can see here that suddenly we are noticing some movement in Voltas. And if you take a look here, right, if you take a look here, you immediately get to know that consumer goods are in action. So let's focus on consumer goods. And you can see here there is Havells. Havells is showing some movement. UBL is showing some movement. We saw that there was some movement there. So in the last 5 minutes, there are some action being seen here. So let's check out Voltas, UBL and Havels. Yes, as we speak, Nifty is showing some movement. So now consumer goods are having some action. So yes, Voltas continues to move. So Voltas, in Voltas, probably your risk to reward ratio at the current moment may not be as suitable, right? As per our Fibonacci pivot approaches, UBL could be given a rest. Havels, yes, Havels is moving well. You can see here that Havels is steadily moving well, and Havels is definitely it's crossing the near terms high also. So yes, out of the stock, Voltas looks to be a little out of reach, while UBL is at an important level right now. While Havels amongst the consumer goods, the recent action which you are seeing, Havels seems to be a good bet. Okay. Let's take, there's a request for DCB Bank. Okay, let me check that. This is DCB Bank here. And when you take a look at DCB Bank, as per our pivot approaches, R1, it's still stuck there. So we would not advocate a buy right now. All right. There's McDowell, Mindtree, Whirlpool. Okay. So now when you take a look at McDowell, McDowell has already done well. McDowell has already, but now if you take a look at McDowell and now if you want to enter McDowell, if that is your question, then you can see here that currently it is witnessing some profit booking after a sharp run. So buying at the current juncture would not be a ideal scenario. So I'm just sharing with you some perspectives. Trading based on whatever has been suggested is completely left to the individual, right? So we would like you to ensure that you do your own understanding, do your own reading, and consider all these discussions as part of uh, educational purposes. What I'm sharing with you is how we go about and how we participate in the market. The choice is left to you. Right now, let's again go back to the dashboard and let's see what's there on the charts. Okay, any new entrants? Okay, we got here NAM India, and then let's see the second tier. We got here Pidilite, we got BDL, we got Indigo, Indigo you see, we got ICICI GI. All right, let's see if there is some momentum brewing up in these. So what happens is that you get many stocks at your disposal, but then when you have got pivots at your on in front of you, you'll always be able to validate them faster. So now, for example, let's do a random pick of say Pidilite, Nalco, and MGL. So if you had Pidilite, Nalco, and MGL, what would you do? You go to your charts and you would put out, then you will see, then you will decide. So now, for example, if you had the whole page at your disposal, all you have to do is type here Pidilite. You know it's doing well. So it's already moved above R3. So it's a good buy candidate. Correct. So your job becomes easier. Pidilite, Nalco has just started moving, and MGL. So MGL also not, MGL has not moved, and Pidilite is doing well, correct? And the VDL is just started. So all these assessment you can do in a matter of seconds. And that is why you can act faster. In the markets, money is made on action, that is true. But लेकिन जो जल्दी act करेगा उसे पैसा मिलेगा. एंड जो स्टेटस के हिसाब से हम देख रहे हैं, एस्ट्रल में वी ऑलरेडी सॉ द मूव, और पीडीलाइट में अभी मूवमेंट आ गया है. बाटा भी हमने डिस्कस किया था. लेट्स आल्सो गो एंड टेक अ लुक एट बाटा once again. We're going to take a look at Bata. Let's see what is happening to Bata, because based on our assessment, we saw that the Bata is showing some movement here. So now when you can see Bata was hesitating. Now Bata has given us a nice move to the upside. So that is how you can check out. So Bata is also a good candidate. So you can see here that within a few minutes, market has not been moving much after its opening, but then some stocks have been moving well. So we had spoken about stock specific action, and these stock specific action is been very easily detected, identified, and executed using pivot points. Why? Because pivot gives you a reasonable idea of control. And that is why pivot points is one of the most preferred ways for me to participate in the market. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask me as we are nearing the end of this session. We have identified some good trades here. We saw Bata, we saw Pidilite, we saw Astral, we saw Dixon. So these are some good opportunities here. And as I wait for the questions, let me just take a look at what is in action right now using the query window. Okay. Yes, there is some movement seen in cement. Okay. Jindal Steel, Laurus Labs, Canfin Home. So with Bank Nifty holding up, the financial services are also coming into play. So maybe we can just take a look at Canfin Homes. Okay, let's take a look at Canfin Homes. Yeah, Canfin Homes is moving, but then it's not moving very efficiently. So at the moment, Canfin Homes is not a great candidate. So if you want to know about Canfin Homes, you saw it here, right? A faster way would be to see it here. If you see here, and if you go and just check out here, you will see that the movement has not started yet. So you can be rest assured that not much of traction is about to emerge. So you can hold back. So only concentrate on stocks which are in action. And here you can see that certain stocks which we have chosen are positive across multiple time frames. That's what makes it very easy to participate. Right? You can see here where there is bullishness, where, for example, if you want to see on the bearish side, you can see here that, like for example, GSPL. Okay, GSPL is bearish across all time frame. So if you want to see some stocks which are in bearishness, you can go here, then go down and see here GSPL, Granules, and Gujarat Gas. So we've seen some bullish stocks. Let's see some bearish stocks. Okay, let's check out Gujarat Gas. You see here that this is a chart of Gujarat Gas. It has been trying to make a base around this level. So you can see over the last 5 days, these levels are trying to be held. Now, in the event that this level is given away, you could experience a sharp drop. Why? Because the prices have been struggling. So now you know that it is at a very important zone. So if it were to be given away, then you can look to initiate a short in this. So this is what you get from these pages. You know exactly there is a movement here, right? You can see here that Gujarat Gas is showing some movement, granules. GSPL is the weakest. While market is definitely showing some bullishness, you also got to be ready for the other side. See here now, you see in GSPL, you can see here that stock has been on a steady decline and today it continues to be on a negative note. Yes, so there's a question on Whirlpool. So I always go here. You have on this page. All you have to do is find it. Just type in and see where is Whirlpool. You can see here that Whirlpool has crossed a very important level. So yes, it qualifies as a buy candidate. You can see here that your activity of participating in the market is simplified when you take a look at the Fibonacci pivot page. It gives you very good insights on where is the candidate, and that's how you'll be able to participate. So pivot points is a very structured way. So any stock between pivot to R1 is something which we always avoid. And then once it moves out of R1, there are multiple ways in which you can take the trade. So this is what we keep sharing as part of our New Trader family webinars, which we do. And that is why it's a very important tool which we use in our normal trading activity. We use it regularly because we know that it is very simplified way to look at the markets. Once you start using a pivot point, you will know exactly how a stock is positioned. You can do it for intraday, you can do it for multi-day. In this page itself, we have designed it for a week, a month. So if you are a positional trader, you can go here, and if you are looking to do in mid small, you can just go change your basket. You can also select your candidates based on your own watch list. So there is your predefined watch list which you can use. So this way you don't have to worry, because whatever stock you want to trade, whatever sector you want to trade, whatever specific stocks you want to trade, everything is available. Because what happens is that many stocks show different kinds of movement, but then it is not possible to track it very aggressively. And when you go to such pages, it makes your job easier. Why? Because the pages are designed to address every aspect of the market. Now if you see here, if you want to check out what is moving in the small cap space, all right, now you want to check out the small cap space, you will see here in the last 5 minutes what is showing some movement. You can see here that there's a movement seen in JCHAC, Team Lee, BDL. So more than 1%. Yes. And you can see here that cement sector is moving. So go here, right? And just put Birla Corp. So once you put Birla Corporation here, load a chart of Birla Corporation. And then you have to see what is happening to Birla Corp. After falling, there has not been, it's moving, but then it is not crossing our threshold level. So this is the way we ensure that you don't get stuck in the wrong trade. Just because the stock is moving does not mean that you have to find out how, you have to actually take the trade. You have to first see what is the kind of move which I'm getting. Is it crossing important levels? And then you can go for the trade. So it can be your own watch list as well. You can have your own watch list, and the same query will run on your watch list and show you what kind of stocks you want to do. You can have your own set of stocks. You can have your own set of you can have your own index. Like for example, this is a watch list where the algo is running for you, and based on the rule sets which we have designed, it will make it easier for you to look at the markets and trade better. Like JK Cement, there is a movement in JK Cement which you saw earlier also. We saw on Sri Cement. Now, if you see here that cement sector is moving, so let's take a look at JK Cement. I'm selecting some stocks from the mid cap space. So you can see here that how the stock is set up. You can see here that JK Cement is now crossing a important level. So it is setting up to be a good trade for the mid cap space. So every part of the market is covered. Every element of the market is covered. And that's how we have designed Neo Trader. And the concept of pivot is very interesting. And what I'm going to be doing as part of my initiative is that I'm going to be conducting a very interesting workshop this Saturday, where I'll be delving more deeper into the area of pivots. I'll be sharing with you some very interesting rule sets which you can use to profit from the markets on a consistent basis. And I'll be happy to see you in the webinar. So all you got to do is check out the description exactly. I've just shown you a glimpse of pivot today. In that workshop, I'll be going more in detail and showing you how to execute them. This way, your understanding of the markets will improve and also your ability. Thank you so much for joining me in this live session. Thank you for your patience. I'll be catching you in the next one. Till then, this is Raja Venkatraman signing off. Have a good day.